The FTX scam runs incredibly deep. One of the companies impacted by that is BlockFi, who was bailed out apparently earlier this year with a $400 million credit line. Then, last week, BlockFi said everything was fine. Then not even a day later, they paused withdrawals. Now, they have an updated statement. Just how f***ed are they? Are we? Am I? I'm trying to play it cool, but I'm personally very heavily impacted by this. There's nothing funny about this. It's devastating for myself and many others, but we need to talk about it and figure out what's going on and where does this go from here.
So what
BlockFi! Rocket ship, get on board!
On Wednesday of last week, the whole world knew that there was a liquidity issue at FTX. Illiquidity events or liquidity events like this can be interesting investment opportunities.
If SPF knocked on your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture, I have a new crypto venture, I need money, would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
What a stressful time in crypto. We're going to break everything down today. From my personal point of view, VoskCoin point of view, and just what the hell is going on point of view. So this is really where the cliffhanger was, right? So on the 8th of November, Flori Marquez, co-founder of BlockFi, I'm very proud of her founder Flori name, okay, basically said everything's fine. Notice what's right above it though. Okay, when we blow this up, BlockFi independent business entity, FTX US, they are processing all client withdrawals in line with their terms of service. They've aimed to deliver this faster than their terms, whatever. Not even 24 hours later, hey, withdrawals are paused. Okay, so it's just crazy. I mean, looking around, digging around, trying to figure out what went wrong where, other than the obvious, which I'll address the obvious. Clicking around on LinkedIn, looking into the backgrounds, looking at the company, looking at the headquarters, looking at just the metrics, the financials, everything we can find and dig up. The site's still up. You can still deposit into your account, I think, which obviously you should not do. They tell you not to do it, but apparently you can still do it, which would be a huge mistake. Previously, BlockFi had never paused withdrawals. Earlier this year, they did receive what some called a bailout, other called support, whatever, but a $400 million credit line. It was specifically from FTX US, which is a US-based entity and supposed to be much more heavily regulated. But apparently FTX US was a lie, a scam, a Ponzi, hacked, whatever, funds commingled with FTX International. It's all so convoluted and still rapidly developing. I'm not sure, and no one else is. Okay? That's the situation here. But just days ago, Flori said that BlockFi users are fine. When you looked at BlockFi on Twitter, when you look at BlockFi private client on Twitter, when you looked at BlockFi institutional on Twitter, and when you looked at BlockFi support on Twitter, 4 different channels, all official with them. Oh, and the CEO, Zac Prince, who, what timing, man, what timing, is apparently out on paternity leave. Well, now we finally have an update. So here's the update. They say after everything they accomplished in the summer to protect BlockFi, last week's news regarding FTX was unexpected, working around the clock to evaluate available options. So, are they insolvent? Is this a full-blown Ponzi scheme scam? Or are they wrapped up with the wrong people and they're going to be able to get out of this? Or at a minimum, their goal should be obviously to pay back all of their users their funds. Otherwise, it really is a Ponzi scheme scam. And it's just unreal that this is happening on, above all, U.S. soil, the most heavily regulated and supposed to be backed and whatever else. But let's look at the good and the bad. Okay, so FTX and affiliates are now in bankruptcy. Okay, The rumors that the majority of BlockFi assets are custodied at FTX are apparently false. Are they at Alameda though? Right? That said, they have a significant is a big word. Significant is a majority. If it's not a majority, it's maybe moderate exposure. If they could use a less intense word, they would have. Exposure to FTX and associated corporate entities encompasses obligations owed to BlockFi by Alameda, which is part of the Ponzi scheme, SBF scam, and all that meltdown. I'm sure you've heard of it by now. Otherwise, we got a video breaking that down. Assets held at FTX.com and undrawn amounts from their credit line with FTX US. While they continue to work on recovering all obligations owed to BlockFi, they expect that the recovery obligations owed to BlockFi by FTX will be delayed as FTX works through the bankruptcy process. Okay, that means years. That probably means years. We'll see. At this time, withdrawals from BlockFi continue to be paused. Your funds, as it stands, are still stolen by BlockFi. Your funds are not your funds. My funds are not my funds, which I'll talk about that here after I get through this. At this time, withdrawals from BlockFi continue to be paused. Don't make any deposits. Credit card product. Who cares about the credit card? Call deserve, email deserve, cancel the card. I'll never use that card again for 29 reasons. They claim there's a number of scenarios that may be available to them, and they are working now to determine the best path forward. Apparently, they claim, if we believe anything anyone ever says ever again anymore, BlockFi has the necessary liquidity to explore all options. What exactly does that mean? They've engaged expert outside advisors that are helping them navigate BlockFi's next steps. Haynes and Boone continue to serve as their primary outside counsel, and BRG has been engaged as a financial advisor. Rumors circulating of hiring bankruptcy counsel as well. As they work through this situation, they're focused on being transparent around decisions related to the pause, products, and platform activity. And another sentence about they're working and looking at options. And this sentence says that they're going to start communicating with us. So my takeaway is this isn't the worst news, but it's not good news by any means. I will say is a bit of hopium. And again, I want to make this very clear. I am not recommending or endorsing BlockFi now or ever. Okay? But I am bringing this up from the point of view that hopefully myself and everyone else impacted by this can not only get our funds back, but get all of our funds back. And if they continue to offer a service and other people want to do that, that's their prerogative. I will never use anything like this again from CFI. Okay? My hopium here is look at the backing here. Not Jump Capital, because they're going down. Probably, maybe, with their FTX Alameda exposure. But look at these names. Coinbase Ventures, Consensus, Galaxy, Morgan Creek, right? CMS is down there. Unfortunately, their intern runs their Twitter program. But these are big names. And Winklevoss Capital, which I really hope that Winklevoss especially may step in here. Because if we can't trust what Winklevoss Capital goes into, how can we trust Gemini? Kind of the same thought process with Coinbase Ventures. SoFi has some services there as well. The other potential hopium is this fund by CZ Binance, who in a way is kind of shaping up to be the next SBF, if you ask me. But basically this industry recovery fund is about a liquidity crisis. And that's the nice way to put this BlockFi situation. But again, I'm done. If I can get out, it would be incredible. But I worry that they know so many people will think like that. What's the point of bailing that out other than saving face for the crypto industry? Maybe acquiring some users, maybe some licenses. I don't know. Apparently, BlockFi was developing a first of its kind license with regulators, basically regulating lending and earning interest on your coins. Something Coinbase faced huge backlash with. Maybe they would be interested. Maybe this is way too tainted and way too bad of a deal to get involved with. I don't know. To be honest, if I was them, I wouldn't buy BlockFi. But again, I don't have all the numbers in front of me. I would definitely say a rebrand is probably in order. Is this a Phoenix moment, rise from the ashes? I don't know. FTX filed for bankruptcy protection in the US. Bankman, SBF, resigns. Where is he? Is he in custody? Multiple rumors still circulating around. 10 to 50 billion in liabilities. There may be nothing to recoup from FTX International and FTX US. I wouldn't count on it. And if client funds are there, then client funds are gone.
And it's gone.
No BlockFi in New York. This is the irony of the bit license. Basically, they could never get through in New York. So maybe it is the first victory for the bit license. Maybe by not even being able to play the game, people were saved. The irony on this one. Does BlockFi have insurance? This is a funny, it's not that, there's nothing funny in this time right now, but this, I was just Googling around, looking at things, whatever. BlockFi accounts do not have SIPC or FDIC insurance, making them less safe compared to a traditional bank. However, while it's lacking in one area, apparently, according to Stilt.com, big geniuses over there, it makes up for it in another. To optimize safety and security, they use measures like two-factor authentication. Yep, apparently my Google Authenticator is going to be able to get me my funds back. Gemini did get their bit license with New York. Gemini, through Genesis Trading, which has apparently experienced 175 million loss due to the whole FTX Alameda Ponzi scheme debacle scam, also offers a program with Gemini and Genesis Trading. Just to be clear, and I'm jumbling a lot here. A lending program where you can earn interest on your crypto, Gemini Earn. Okay, I had some funds in there as well. I requested them back. Gemini said they're back. I'm processing a wire transfer to my personal bank. Apparently it's on the way. I haven't seen it yet, but they're doing better so far. I'm not recommending them. Actually, I would advise you to get your coins out of there. Get your stuff off of exchanges. Coinbase also has that New York bit license for whatever it's worth. Just an interesting piece in all this madness. It's me, same guy, but I'm back sometime in the future. So the wire transfer did go through. It actually hit my bank account after hours, which was interesting. Personally, I haven't really dealt with that before, but I also, I don't know. I don't have a ton of wires. But yeah, to Gemini's credit and reputation, I did exit Gemini Earn and received the wire. Took about a day and a half to get out of Earn, and I got the wire the next business day. So it's unbelievable. BlockFi isn't new. They've been around for several years. They also sponsored VoskCoin for a couple years, and we worked with them to bring a cool Bitcoin card to life. So personally, I'm heavily impacted by this. Like, it's actually devastating. I put my money where my mouth is with things. And wow, did this really blow up on me and obviously many others. If you are using BlockFi and impacted by this, I feel terrible. If you saw a video on VoskCoin about it, and that's why you use it, I feel even worse. Obviously we have disclaimers and things, like it's not financial advice. Like, VoskCoin is a YouTube channel. We make videos. We have sponsors. BlockFi and FTX were some of the biggest and more reputable sponsors long-term you could get as a content creator. being sponsored by FTX used to be like a badge of honor. Like they had the Miami Heat Arena, Super Bowl ad, Tom Brady, and they sponsored us. Among many other things and whoever else that are more popular, whatever. I'm not trying to say that like I'm so cool. I'm saying that it was an accomplishment, or at least all we thought it was. But clearly it's been the most elaborate Ponzi scheme the world has ever seen. I mean, it's there's nothing good to say here. Even though we have all these disclaimers and whatever else, I'm just personally like torn up about all this. And I mean, that's all I got to say right now, without just rambling on and on. Personal exposure, devastating. VoskCoin community exposure, gutting. There's no good news here, really. The only thing I'll say is, even in all this madness, I'm hopeful. I don't know if I'm going to get out of this and other current users are going to get out of this unscathed, but maybe we can get out of it to any degree, which is better than nothing, a total loss. So, hey, time will tell. Situation sucks. I'm not giving up, but damn, it's easy. It's easy to feel like it. Feel like you want to. So, try to keep yourself busy. If FTX or one of their subsidiaries, whatever associated companies, including obviously BlockFi, is negatively impact you, especially if it's heavily. I've been trying to spend more time than ever with Tails and Alexa. It's you gotta keep yourself busy, stay focused, and get through it, and we'll see where it goes. And worst case, we rebuild the best we can. So, signing out. Gonna go check on Tails, our little cutie Shiba. And this also counts as 10 seconds of Tails, a tradition here on the channel. So, I'll see you guys on the next one, hopefully.